Hello, all, once again. This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for the second video of my Royal Rumble match recap and review retro series, as we're going to take a look back at the second ever Royal Rumble match, which took place back in 1989. Now, I know I said in my first video that we probably are not going to be able to get multiple ones done before my live Raw review tonight for the new year, but it looks like that's going to be happening. I think I should be able to get this one up before my live review tonight. So we should have two done before Raw, and I'll hopefully do the third one also right after I review Raw, because I actually just finished watching the third episode of the third ever Royal Rumble match. I was waiting for my first one to finish uploading, so instead of just starting in the middle of the third match, I thought it would throw me off. I waited afterwards, so I did the review for the second Royal Rumble match. Oh, and also I remember when I did my Retro WrestleMania review series that I originally just did the theme song at the beginning for all of whichever WrestleMania pay-per-view that was. I'm not going to do that for this series. I'm just going to use just the regular Royal Rumble song that was used for the first Royal Rumble pay-per-view throughout the whole series, because I can't remember which song it was, but one of the songs that was one of the Royal Rumble themes, I think I used for all my match cards one time, and YouTube blocked my video worldwide, so I had to take it down and put like a newer song in there, so that way people can actually view my video. So because of that, I don't want to take any chances of having them being blocked, so I'm just going to just use the normal Royal Rumble theme song for all the videos in this series. So but that's just a little this little thing that's fixed there. But so let's get right into the 1989 Royal Rumble. It took place on January 15th that year at the Summit in Houston, Texas. Once again, though, however, there was no stipulation at all to what happens to the winner, other than you get you're known for winning the second Royal Rumble. There was nothing really more to it. This Royal Rumble, I definitely enjoyed it a little bit better than the 1988 Rumble. The 1988 Rumble was just introduced. It only had 20 participants in it, but it was a bunch of low card guys, not really just many main eventers yet that were really established yet. A lot of like the star power were in other matches on that card as well. So I guess that's why they weren't featured in the Rumble match themselves. There were some things I liked. I liked how it did set the bar. It was raised up to 30 participants, and there was the concept of storytelling seemed to get involved in the match as well, which I enjoyed. It did lead to some stuff down the line for other wrestlers, including stuff with Jake the Snake Roberts and Andre the Giant, and the whole thing with the Mega Powers exploding. It's teased more tension there as well. But we'll get into it. But it still was a little bit of an inconsistent Rumble. After the whole thing with the Mega Powers exploding thing, well, the tease there, it seemed like this became a whole different match, because everybody who came in after that was like upcoming stars, some main events, but it felt like it was completely different. So it didn't quite flow, which affected my grades. I was going to give this show a pretty good grade, a little bit more of a higher grade than I gave it. And I definitely gave it a better grade than the 1988 Royal Rumble, but this one could have been a little bit higher. One, if the winner would have done something more than just what they did at WrestleMania, and also it would have been more of a consistent match. But this was, for the most part, a decent Royal Rumble. So we started off here. The first two entrants were both members of Demolition, Axe and Smash. They came out and they just threw their partnership aside and just went at it because they wanted to win this. Followed by Andre the Giant coming out number 3, which I don't think Andre was in the 88 Rumble. I don't think he was. Yeah, I don't think he was. But despite being a big man, Andre still, was able to show he was, a credible big man as well, as he is a Hall of Famer. And he had a good showing in this Rumble match as well. Before, I know it's a little early, but he eliminated 4 and lasted about 15 minutes. And who eliminated him? Well, we'll get to that shortly, because it was kind of funny, even though it didn't lead to the greatest match of his career, really, at WrestleMania this year. I remember watching it and I was like, nah. Coming in number 4, whose name will be mentioned at the end of this video, was Mr. Perfect, father of current WWE superstar Curtis Axel. he came in to the match, and then right in between 4 and 5, Smash was eliminated by Andre. The first of 4 eliminations for Andre. Then came in Ronnie Garvin, but he didn't last too long as he was eliminated by Andre as well. And then Greg the Hammer Valentine came in at number 6, and then Jake the Snake Roberts came in at number 7. Now there had been I forgot the story. I got to go back and watch WrestleMania review just to refresh my memory. But I do remember these two were feuding leading into WrestleMania 5. But they've been feuding, so he went after Andre the Giant as well, as Andre probably been bullying him and whatnot. But Jake knew his weakness. Andre did eliminate Roberts not too far into the match. But then that wouldn't be the last we'd see of Jake the Snake Roberts. Let's put it that way. We'll get into him a little more in a little bit. And then Ron Bass came in number 8. And actually, also step back for a second. When Jake the Snake Roberts entered this Rumble, he became the first superstar to ever enter multiple Royal Rumble matches. I forgot to mention that. But that was number 7. Number 8 again was Ron Bass, who was in the Rumble last year, but this year he was bald because Brutus the Barber Beefcakes did cut his hair before this match. And then number 9 is when he was with the Rockers, but for the first time in his career, Shawn Michaels entered the Royal Rumble match. And, of course, he just showing better things to come. Axe would be eliminated by Mr. Perfect. And then number 10, half of the Bushwhackers, Bushwhacker Butch, he came into the match but then here's where again, storytelling concepts happening in the Royal Rumble. We had Jake the Snake Roberts come back down to the ring. Again, he had been feuding with Andre the Giant. And I said before, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake Roberts, knew he was able to, defeat Andre mentally with one of his weaknesses, which was the fact that Andre's afraid of snakes. So he came back down to the ring, and he brought out Damien in the middle of the ring. Andre the Giant stepped over the top rope and eliminated himself, scared to death by that snake, and ran for his life. So Andre the Giant had 4 eliminations, including himself. And he ran off. We did not see him for the rest of the night, as it would lead into a match with them at WrestleMania again. The special guest referee for that match, though, you'll find out at the end of this video. So that's how Andre left. Then number 11 was the Honky Tonk Man. Number 12 was Tito Santana. Hariba! He was number 12. And number 13 was Bad News Brown. Not Bad News Barrett, Bad News Brown, who was somebody who I have heard a lot of people say that he was not booked well at all. He should deserve more than what he got. This was the year he did win that Battle Royal, I think, at the beginning of WrestleMania 5, that was treated a little bit more like a pre-show match. I remember he won it, but it didn't really lead him anywhere. But he had a decent showing in this Royal Rumble, I felt. The Honky Tonk Man would then be eliminated by Bushwhacker Butch and Tito Santana. Number 14 was Shawn Michaels' tag team partner with the Rockers, Marty Jannetty. Of course, they were still together at this time. This was, in Shawn Michaels' early days, a couple years before the whole turn at the barbershop. Marty Jannetty came down to the ring, and then he would double team up with Shawn Michaels to eliminate Ron Bass. Number 15, making his first appearance in the Royal Rumble. Now, here's the thing, though. He was the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion at the time, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Now, I did read some critics and some people saying, and I do kind of agree to it. If there was no stipulation, though, why was the World Wrestling Federation champion in this match? Like, what was that gonna make? What was that gonna do for him? It was with nothing on the line, even though it did tease something, but the stakes weren't as high for the Royal Rumble at the time. But as a fan personally of me, seeing what I started seeing what the Royal Rumble was, set my expectations back in 2013. To see just having no stipulations, have your own champion be in the match without nothing being on the line. And also the fact he only had 2 eliminations in this match, also, I believe. Let me double check on that. Did Savage... no, I'm sorry. He had 3 eliminations in this match. My bad. He had 3? Okay, that's all right. But still, he could have, I don't know. It just feels weird having your own champion in the match. That's just going to lead to something. Which, again, it kind of did, but just... it's still just strange. I'm not used to having a Royal Rumble pretty much mean absolutely nothing, pretty much. Randy Savage came in, and number 16 was half of the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson, and then Savage would eliminate Greg the Hammer Valentine. and then HBK though will be eliminated by the double teaming of Savage and Arn Anderson. And then the other half of the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard entered at number 17. Now number 18 was the Immortal One himself entering the Royal Rumble for the first time, Hulk Hogan. See, the star power was a lot better in the 1989 Royal Rumble match itself, which is one thing that definitely made me enjoy it more than the 1988 Rumble match. So Hogan came down, and he went nuts. He was the one, the strong babyface that had the strong showing that didn't win though. It was Hulk Hogan. As I mentioned in my last video, there always seems to be, like a babyface who was built up to, people would want to see win the match but didn't. There's like a little bit like a stable going on, which was a really one, somewhat in the second half, but not really. Was there also like a heel in this match? Kind of you could say with Mr. Perfect. Yeah, not really as like established in those like traits I mentioned in the first video, like like a heel didn't win the match who had a strong showing, or like a faction that was like teaming up on everybody for a while. You had a couple tag teams in there, but it wasn't really anything like how it was with the Hart Foundation in 1988 or like the Shield in 2014. But yeah, Hogan was definitely Hogan was definitely the strong baby face that didn't win but had like the strong showing, and what people were hoping could have won the match. The Royal Rumble match itself, I don't know. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But Hulk Hogan came in and he eliminated Mr. Perfect, which again I'll be mentioning him at the end of this video. And then Arn Anderson would then eliminate Tito Santana. And then number 19 was Bushwhacker Luke. But then a weird combo, but Bushwhacker Butch though would then be eliminated by both Hulk Hogan and Bad News Brown. Strange combo, but it happened. Number 20 was Koko Beware, but he was then eliminated quickly by Hulk Hogan. Koko Beware is a Hall of Famer, a WWE Hall of Famer. Not sure why. I mean, because the matches I've seen, with him on WrestleMania, this didn't really impress me that much. So, but yeah, he was out pretty quickly, and then Bushwhacker Luke was eliminated by Hogan, and then Hogan would then double eliminate the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, just like that. And then here's where things got interesting. Well, first off, number 21 at the time, this set a record. The Warlord came in. And he came in and he was eliminated immediately by none other than Hulk Hogan in 2 seconds, which set a record for the quickest elimination until 2009, when a certain man with a unibrow was eliminated in 1 second. Mr. I wasn't ready. We'll get to that when we get to 2009, though. But then the interesting part came, though, was when Savage was trying to eliminate Bad News Brown. Hogan went over to try to assist him, but instead, he accidentally eliminated both Brown and Savage. Now, as I said, this is around a time where the Mega Powers were starting to tease some tension between each other. The whole thing with, Hogan and Elizabeth, the suspicions from Savage as well. I think things started at Survivor Series, I think it was, can't remember. But this, went things even further, teased some more tensions. Because Hogan accidentally did the elimination, Savage took exception to it, got into the ring, they argued. Miss Elizabeth came out to settle them down. Eventually, they calmed down Savage, they shook hands, they went their own ways. And then, of course, down the line, they would, tension would break between them, and then they would have that main event match at WrestleMania where Hogan did win the championship off of Randy Savage. So, yeah, but that was probably the interesting part. But here's where this Rumble started to go downhill. After that, the Big Boss Man came in, followed by his tag team partner, Akeem, and they teamed up and eliminated Hogan. And then Brutus the Barber Beefcake came out there. And then, because with his assistance, Hogan eliminated Big Boss Man from outside ring interference. They would brawl into backstage. I don't know if they didn't have a match at Mania because Hogan faced Savage. So I don't know if this looks like a match, like Saturday Night Main Event, or if they had another pay-per-view in between the Rumble and Mania. I'm not sure, but there probably was some type of match between these two. But yeah, they just brawled, went backstage. I'm like, all right, why did this happen? I can't really find anything in the history about what happened after that from the aftermath. And then we would have just more people entering the Rumble, some near eliminations, but the rest of the crew got in before someone else got eliminated. We had the Red Rooster, number 25, the Barbarian, number 26, Big John Studd, at number 27, Hercules, number 28, Tito Santana's tag partner, Rick Martel, number 29, and at number 30 was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, making his first appearance in the Royal Rumble match himself. So things got, again, with DiBiase entering it, things got a little bit interesting because, Ted DiBiase's, bribing people, help him to win the match. He came out with Virgil by his side and whatnot. But again, this felt like it was just a completely, after Savage left, and then Hogan was just taken out, duking it out with the Big Boss Man and Akeem. This match felt like it just went completely to a different angle. It felt like it was a completely different match altogether. Like it could have been like 2 Royal Rumble matches or something. It just felt like it was just weird. But with some help, DiBiase eliminated the Red Rooster, and he also double eliminated Bruce the Barber Beefcake and Hercules, and then Rick Martel will go on to eliminate the Barbarian, leaving the final 4 as Akeem, Big John Studd, Rick Martel, and Ted DiBiase. So things were working out for the most part. Akeem and DiBiase pretty much teamed up to try to take out Big John Studd and Rick Martel. Now, first let's get to the first elimination before we get to the final 3. Akeem succeeded in eliminating Rick Martel. So it came down for the final 3. It was Akeem, Big John Studd, and Ted DiBiase. Now, Big John Studd had returned to the WWF earlier in the year, and he refused to join Bobby the Brain Heenan. So he's been feuding with his little clan, the Colossal Connection, or whatever heck they were called at that time. So he was somewhat of a targeted babyface, but he wasn't much of a favorite really at this time. So it came down to these 3. And at first, they had DiBiase, who was part of the Colossal Connection, because Big John Studd was also somewhat feuding with Andre the Giant as well when he first came back. So they have some history also there between him and Ted DiBiase. Unfortunately, though, DiBiase's plan failed as it backfired whenever Big John Studd got out of the way, and Akeem ran into Ted DiBiase, and because of that distraction, Big John Studd was able to eliminate Akeem. And then Ted DiBiase realized he was screwed, and Big John Studd just threw him around like a rag doll. There was no turning back, so he did get his comeuppance, and Big John Studd did eliminate Ted DiBiase to win the second Royal Rumble match. But all it led to was Big John Studd being the special guest referee between the match against Jake the Snake Roberts and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 5. Okay? After that, he didn't last in the WWF too much longer. I think he did have some health problems or whatnot. I think he did pass away in 1993, but once again, your Royal Rumble match winner, what did it mean besides him just winning the match? The stakes weren't, okay, back then the stakes weren't that high, but as a fan, for me, I'm just this is weird. What was the point of that? Yes, I know he probably got his comeuppance on DiBiase because he was feuding with the Colossal Connection, but it was just why? What was the point really? If it just led to nothing, pretty much. Again, it was a weird and inconsistent Rumble, but again, I'm not gonna take away. I still thought it was better than than last year's. It did set the bar higher as it was a 30-man Royal Rumble match. We have more star power in this match. It was a thing that caused more tensions with the Mega Powers as well, leading to their main event match, WrestleMania 5. So overall, it was still a decent Royal Rumble match. So let's go over the results. The winner again was Big John Studd. And then for the entrance, we had Axe last 14 minutes and 37 seconds with no eliminations. Smash lasted 4 minutes and 55 seconds with no eliminations. We had Andre the Giant have 4 eliminations, and he eliminated himself. Mr. Perfect lasted 27 minutes and 58 seconds with 1 elimination. We had Ronnie Garvin last 2 minutes and 39 seconds, no eliminations. No eliminations also for Greg Valentine, despite lasting 19 minutes and 52 seconds. Jake the Snake Roberts only lasted 2 minutes and 8 seconds, no eliminations. Ron Bass, 12 minutes and 36 seconds, no eliminations. HBK lasted 14 minutes and 30 seconds with 1 elimination. Bushwhacker Butch, 18 minutes and 13 seconds, 1 elimination. Honky Tonk Man, 4 minutes and 12 seconds, no eliminations. Tito Santana, Horiba, 12:47, 1 elimination. Bad News Brown, 16:24, 1 elimination. Mario Jannetty, 7 minutes and 52 seconds, 1 elimination. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, a current World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, lasted 12 minutes and 26 seconds with 3 eliminations. Arn Anderson, 10 minutes on the dot, 2 eliminations. Tully Blanchard, 8 minutes and 2 seconds, 1 elimination. The Immortal Hulk Hogan lasted 11 minutes and 31 seconds, 10 eliminations. Bushwhacker Luke, 3 minutes and 8 seconds, no eliminations. Coco Beware, 1 minute 8 with no eliminations. The Warlord, 2 seconds, no eliminations. The Big Boss Man, 4 minutes and 18 seconds, 1 elimination. That was Hulk Hogan. Akeem, 18 minutes and 36 seconds with 2 eliminations. Bruce the Barber Beefcake, 13 minutes and 56 seconds, no eliminations. We had the Red Rooster, last 11 minutes and 17 seconds with no eliminations. The Barbarian with 2 eliminations in 12 minutes and 15 seconds. The winner, Big John Studd, lasted 12 minutes and 21 seconds with 2 eliminations. Hercules lasted 6 minutes and 11 seconds with no eliminations. Rick Martel was only 5 minutes and 29 seconds. He had 1 elimination. And then the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, lasted 6 minutes and 27 seconds with 3 eliminations. Not too bad from a heel, role, getting his comeuppance, making him look strong as well. So the longest time, new record, Mr. Perfect, 27 minutes and 58 seconds. The most eliminations, also new record, was Hulk Hogan with 10. And the total duration, of course, a lot longer than last year, about half an hour longer than it was last year since there was more participants in it. About an average time, you'd say, have a Royal Rumble, an hour and 4 minutes and 53 seconds. So, once again, the Royal Rumble in 1989, for the most part, again, it was still a decent Rumble. Again, I just didn't like how it was kind of inconsistent, having, it felt like once Hogan and Savage were gone, it felt like it was just a completely different match. The star power was not quite there as high as it was, but it did, set the bar a little bit of what a Royal Rumble match should feel like. So that's why I'm going to give the 1989 Royal Rumble a C+. What are your thoughts on the 1989 Royal Rumble? Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to click that like and subscribe for more content to come to this channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAir93. I will be up here live probably around 11:30, I'd say, for my live Raw review. The first one of the new year, of course, which I'll have a nice special end I plan on doing. And then afterwards, I will probably do the 1990 Royal Rumble review, because I did finish watching that before I did this video. So I will watch the 4th one and hopefully get 4 watched today, 3 reviewed. Off to a great start to this Rumble series. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, please check me out live tonight at 11:30. And with that, guys, I will see you all later. And until 11:30, enjoy Raw.